Earl Williams. Earl Williams is the father of Earl Faison. Now, many of y'all don't remember Earl Faison. Earl Faison was beaten to death by the police in Orange, New Jersey. Just like Trayvon Martin. It was Trayvon Martin before Trayvon Martin. Only the police weren't. It wasn't a block watcher. It was the real police that was involved. And the same thing happened in the Earl Faison case that's happened in the Trayvon Martin case. In the Earl Faison case, Earl was murdered. First of all, they tried to cover it up and say that he did it to himself. He fell off the chair and killed himself. They tried to cover it up. And they would not admit that they had killed him. But then people suspected foul play, and so the state opened an investigation. See, it's the state, that is like New Jersey, New York, the state, that has to bring murder charges. That's a statutory crime. So the state has to bring that charge. The state opened up an investigation, but when they saw the number of police that were involved, they closed the investigation. They didn't even do what they did in Trayvon Martin. They wouldn't even take it to trial. So they closed the investigation, and they thought it would be swept under the rug. But fortunately, there was a family called the Faison Williams family that wanted to fight, and they found an organization called the People's Organization for Progress that wanted to fight. And for the first time in the history of New Jersey, the first time in the history of the state of New Jersey, since the founding of the Republic, 5 police were found guilty in a police brutality case, and they all went to jail. They all went to jail. So we can do the same thing in the Trayvon Martin case, but I want Brother Williams to say a few words. Come on, brother.
It's unbelievable that it can still be going on the way that it does. Even though we've gone through countless situations very similar to this, including my son's demise, it's not going to stop. Every mother out here should be concerned if she don't know where that teenager is at a certain hour. There's no excuse for not knowing where your child is. Nowadays, it's more than detrimental to a family's overall health. You've got to know where they are. You've got to stay close to the kids. Even the girls. The girls are, there was a time when we didn't even worry about the girls. Now, you got to worry about girl gangs that's just as bad as the boys. They're doing stick-ups and God knows whatever else. You got to know where your children are. You got to know what they're thinking about and who's influencing them in other places other than what they're getting from what would be called home. All I can tell you folks is keep the faith, let's keep fighting, and hopefully somebody will hear us. Everybody won't be as fortunate as, I'm not even going to say fortunate, because no amount of money can bring my son back. And he didn't do anything to deserve what happened to him. They killed him because they thought he was somebody else. You know, to this day, we still feel that pain. There's not a holiday or a birthday that doesn't go by that my family doesn't feel that pain. And to believe that it can't happen to you, you're playing with yourself. It can happen. 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, you don't know where your 15 or your 14-year-old is, just because they got a little bit of age and you trust them somewhat. They don't have to actually be doing nothing wrong. All they got to do is be in the wrong place at the right time. And they can be what's known as, what's the word I'm looking for, Larry, when you conveniently there? And they just grab your behind because you're there? Yeah, that is it, but there's a word for it. I couldn't find it. Please, folks, take it to heart, because it's real out here.
Yes, it is.
It's real, and they're not playing.
It's scapegoat, whatever.
Yeah, scapegoat. Plenty of scapegoats standing out here now. All you got to do is just be out here at the wrong time and in the right place. And girl, you're the one that did it. Whether you're the one or not. That's the way they do it out here. Larry?
Yes.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you, Brother Williams. In Newark, New Jersey, there was a case, Basir Farrow, and Basir was killed by the police, just like Trayvon Martin was killed. And I saw Sharonda Smalls. Come on, Sharonda, give Sharonda, his aunt, a hand.
How you doing? My name is Sharonda Smalls. My nephew Basir Farrow was killed by the North Police May 15, 2009. He was beaten to death. The investigation is still going on. It's been 4 years. So it went to the federal, I meant to say that, it went to the federal took over it, and the city wanted to say that my sister passed and his father passed, so I took over. So the city wanted to settle out with me. But I haven't done that because, like he said, money, it doesn't matter, you know, money, but you can't bring him back. And he has 2 kids. So I haven't decided yet to compromise with them as far as with the lawsuit or anything like that, because that's not my focus. My focus on for the 7 police officers who killed my nephew. I want justice, my family wants justice, the community wants justice. I still hurt when I watched the verdict, the whole trial, it reminded me of my nephew. Now I have photos of myself. I was gonna bring them, but it's so bad that I know some people, like my organization, Larry Hand, all the prompt members, they saw the photos what they did to my nephew. It's very, very terrible. So sometimes I don't want to show it to some people because they can't take it of looking at what they did to my nephew. But yes, it is reality, but it hurts so bad, and it's like I get very emotional. Because everybody that's out here is a Trayvon. My nephew was a Trayvon. His son was a Trayvon. We all Trayvon, you know. So what makes me mad because you see people posting stuff on social network and be outraged on the network and have their opinion, but why you can't come out to the streets and have outrage like everybody else in the community? Don't go on the social network, Facebook, Instagram, and say this and say that. Come out to the streets and let your voice be heard. Because if they can't hear us, then they know nothing in the community. So I will be here Monday, tomorrow. I hope everybody else get on, like Mr. Hand said, invite the people to come out. Because it happened to me on my back door. They knocked on my back door and did it to my nephew. It can happen to you, all of us. So we really have to stick together. Every race besides our race, and yes, I'm not going to say it, we do not stick together. We tear each other down. We got to stop doing that. We do not stick together. That's why kids, we burying our kids. I have a grandson, 3 years old. I may not look like I'm a grandmother, but trust me, I am a grandmother. I'm 43 years old, and I'm raising my grandson. I don't want my son to be a Trayvon. So we got to stick together, people. Thank you.
To the people. I want to ask our state vice chairman, Larry Adams, to say a few words about the Trayvon Martin situation. Give him a hand. Larry Adams.
Power to the people. Power to the people. We in pop greet each other and other people when we speak with them with power to the people. It is not just nostalgia about the important role played by the Black Panther Party in the 60s. Because in fact, they weren't originals. The Bolsheviks made the same call, power to the people, and at various times, all power to the people in the Russian Revolution. So we raise power to the people as a continuance of a whole continuum of resistance to encourage and develop a culture of resistance. Power to the people. But also we raise power to the people because it must be our essential demand. Because with power we can defend and protect ourselves, our community, our land, our culture, our identity. Without power, we will be victims. So we must, all of our political work must be aimed at accumulation of power, organizational power, political and ideological power, and yes, at some point, military power. Because we need power to the people. But right now, people, we out here, everybody knows pretty much the facts of Trayvon's case. Everybody knows pretty much the brother got killed for walking while black. 17 years old, no weapons, where he was supposed to be doing nothing, and they did an Orwellian doublespeak, or they flipped the script, and he became the culprit, and Zimmerman, the 200-pound wannabe cop, becomes the victim. That's the case. That is the case that the defense put on and convinced the jury of. That Zimmerman was a victim, Trayvon was a perpetrator, and he deserved to die. He deserved to die. So what we out here recognizing is that injustice has once again been reaffirmed in the United States of America. Injustice has been reaffirmed, and we're here to fight for justice. What we're looking at is the continued legacy of slavery. Because once again it says black life is of little value except when it's being super exploited for super profits. Black life is of little value. Once again we hear a 200-year-old Supreme Court justice ruling that says black men have no rights that white men or the courts are bound to observe. We have a reaffirmation of injustice. And we here because we mad. We here because we angry. How can you have a 17-year-old kid with Skittles and have his own iced tea get killed and the perpetrator walks on a theory that he was the perpetrator of something? That just ain't right. I don't care what the legal shenanigans are. It just ain't right. Ray Charles could see that, he blind and dead. But it just ain't right, and so you are right to be indignant. You are right to demand justice. But you know what? We can't just vent. We can't just vent. We have to organize a movement that struggles for power. We must organize a movement that struggles for power. If you ain't in an organization, get in an organization. And you have that organization hook up with another organization so that we form a united front against injustice and for justice. We have formed a united front against the system that brought us here as commodities of labor and continues to deny us our humanity. We form a united front against the imperialist system that causes us poverty and injustice. Get in an organization. You don't want to get in an organization, participate in an activity like this. October 19th, you know, we can, POP united 179 organizations in a campaign for jobs, peace, equality, and justice. And we're going to have a sum-up conference October 19th at North Brooklyn. That's a step up from the level of activity we've had, and we enjoy you to come with us and conference and strategize and figure out how to strengthen our fight back. Get on a bus and go to Washington, D.C. on August 24th, the 50th anniversary, when 200,000 marched on Washington, led by Dr. King and other civil rights leaders, to demand jobs, peace, equality, and justice. And 50 years later, we still demanding the same thing. So get on a bus. If you ain't got one, POP has one. Likewise, we meet every Thursday at Abyssinian Baptist Church, 221 West Kinney Street, and we talk about this. We plan these activities, we build the fight back, and we urge you to come and join us. We're going to fight for justice for Trayvon, and that means to support the family in its efforts on a civil suit and support the federal government to bring civil rights violations against Zimmerman, not to let his ass off the hook. So we fight for justice for Trayvon. But we fight, but there's a Trayvon in every community that we live in. If the police, they kill them, now they got license for the wannabe police to kill us. We got to build a movement that fights back. So we say justice for Trayvon. Justice for Trayvon. If there ain't gonna be no justice. If there ain't gonna be no justice. Power to the people.
Give a big hand, Larry Adams. I want to, are there any young people here that want to say anything? Any young people? Come on, brother. Come on. No, this tall brother right here. Come on. Introduce yourself.